Almost 6.5 years after Red Arrow's pilot Sean Cunningham was killed when his ejection seat fired unexpectedly, the manufacturer has apologised in court over his death. Flight Lieutenant Cunningham was fatally injured after being ejected from his Hawk jet while conducting free flight checks on the ground at RAF Scampton near Lincoln. Today, the company, Martin Baker, accepted responsibility for its failings and contribution to Sean's death. Gemma Dawson was in court.
This is the Red Arrow's jet that Flight Lieutenant Sean Cunningham was ejected from on the ground at RAF Scampton in 2011. The ejection seat unintentionally triggered during routine checks. Sean's parachute attached to his seat then failed to deploy. Today, more than 6 years after his death, the manufacturer of that ejection seat, Martin Baker Aircraft Company Limited, has apologised. Last month, the company admitted a breach of health and safety legislation. And this week, James Martin, seen here in the middle, has been in court on behalf of the company, as today the defence set out its case at the firm's sentencing hearing. Richard Matthews, speaking on behalf of Martin Baker, said the company accepts its responsibility for the significant contribution and failings it has made in the death of Flight Lieutenant Cunningham. He went on to say no words of a lawyer or any other person can convey the sadness, regret and apology on behalf of the company and all who stand behind it. The court then heard hours of technical details about a shackle, nut and bolt from the ejection seat, its design and maintenance and role in deploying the parachute. This afternoon, representatives from Martin Baker left court, followed by Sean's family. Their wait for the judge's sentence continues.
And Gemma is at RAF Scampton, the home, of course, of the Red Arrows at the moment. When will the company, Martin Baker, actually be sentenced?
Well, Peter, the hearing has now been adjourned until the 23rd of February, when hopefully the judge, Mrs. Justice Carr, will be able to sentence the company. And she'll have a lot to think about between now and then, because over the last 2 days, the prosecution and defence have both been setting out their cases, with the prosecution basically trying to establish the level of culpability of Martin Baker, and the defence obviously trying to defend the company. But tonight, nearly 6.5 years after the incident that happened here, the wait for that sentence continues.
Gemma, thank you very much indeed. Gemma Dawson there at RAF Scampton.